On August 30th at the AO Arena in Manchester, England, Ferguson is making his boxing debut under Queensberry rules against influencer turned fighter Salt Papi, who's already got a few Misfit bouts under his belt. Ferguson versus Salt Papi is the co-main event, setting the stage for a interesting main event where ex-UFC welterweight title challenger Darren Till squares up against former UFC and Strikeforce middleweight champ Luke Rockhold. Both fights are for shiny Misfit belts. Ferguson and Papi are duking it out for the MFB interim middleweight title, where Till and Rockhold are throwing it down for the MFB bridgeweight championship. It's going to be a wild night in Manchester, and I have some very interesting thoughts about this entire event. I just think that it's crazy that the Misfit organization just didn't get another washed up MMA former UFC fighter to match up against Tony Ferguson. In my opinion, that's a much more fair matchup than having a young dude like Salt Papi that already has boxing experience. In my honest opinion, Tony Ferguson cannot lose this fight. He cannot lose this fight against somebody named Salt Papi. That would be the freaking nail in the coffin for his entire career. He needs to beat him. If he doesn't, I can 100% guarantee that the entire internet is just going to go crazy and they're going to be calling for the retirement of Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson's already in a significant losing skid, right? He's never coming back as the same fighter we all knew and love. And if he manages to lose to somebody called Salt Papi, I think that's done. I think his entire career is over, and I think that he should just enjoy retirement. He should have retired like 10 fights ago anyways. But yeah, if he loses to somebody named Salt Papi, he has no business being in any combat sport. He has no business competing anymore. He should just enjoy his health while he has it right now, and just set off into the sunset and retire. And I think that time is a little bit overdone. I'm begging you, Tony Ferguson, please get a win. Please, MMA gods, combat sports gods out there, let Tony Ferguson finally get a win. And if you don't win, Tony Ferguson, you have no business being in combat sports. This is a message to Tony Ferguson. If you lose to Salt Papi, you have no business being in combat sports anymore. You need to retire. It's insane that this fight is even going down. Please don't embarrass each and every single one of us that love you. Don't lose to Salt Papi, because if you do, we're all going to be screaming and shouting that you need to retire from combat sports. But that's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope and pray to God that Tony Ferguson finally gets a win. It's been a long time since we've seen Tony Ferguson have his hand raised, and I think that, you know, this is his best case scenario, fighting an influencer who doesn't have as much as fighting experience as Tony Ferguson. The best outcome, and the outcome that I would love to see, is to finally see Tony Ferguson win a fight. I mean, that's all I want. As far as the matchup between Luke Rockhold and Darren Till, I think it's pretty interesting. I think that Darren Till takes it. You know, I think that Luke Rockhold is a better overall striker, but there's no kicks. And obviously, you know, kicks is a significant part of Luke Rockhold's game. As far as boxing, I think that Darren Till probably takes it, in my honest opinion. But let me know what you guys think about this entire freaking matchup that's going to be going down later in August. Subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all the news going on in the combat sports world. Like the video, leave a comment. As always, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure. Peace out and have a good one.